We've all heard of the old saying, all roads lead to Rome, right? Well, here in New York, we've got a little twist on that. All roads lead to a missing bridge? Now don't get too worried. It's not as tragic as it sounds. In fact, it's downright hilarious. So, picture this. About 20 years ago, there was a bridge in New York. Not any bridge, mind you, but one of the 10 worst bridges in the state. Despite its reputation, the bridge stood quite literally for 2 long decades until someone finally decided it was time for a makeover. Come spring, the work began with a promise to have it done by mid-October. But lo and behold, instead of a shiny new bridge, we ended up with no Bridge Street. Yep, you heard that right. No bridge, nada zilch, just a gaping hole where it used to be. Now here's where things start to get really interesting. You see, folks around here have a knack for ignoring signs, especially ones that read "Bridge Closed." You'd see cars zooming down Bridge Street only to screech to a halt just inches away from the barrier. It was like a real-life version of that old cartoon gag, except instead of a painted tunnel, it was a very real absence of a bridge. One rainy day, a man racing towards the ghost of a bridge forgot this crucial piece of information. All he could think of was the fish he needed for dinner from the ghost town cafe on the other side. As he zoomed past the "End is Near" sign, he realized his mistake. Too late to stop, his car plunged into the void, bouncing off the ground thanks to some good shocks and tires. "Ha! The end wasn't nearer here," he laughed. But as fate would have it, the bridge was built over train tracks. And guess what was coming his way? A slow-moving freight train that sent his car tumbling along the tracks and into the Hudson River. But our man was an eternal optimist. "Hey, the end isn't nearer here," he exclaimed, even as his car began to fill with water. As if a train wasn't enough, an oil barge rammed into his car, sending it to the river's bottom. But remember, our man is an optimist. He kicked out a window, swam to the surface, and even made it to the shore. Soaked to the bone, but alive, he walked into the house he was headed to for dinner. Reaching into his pockets, he pulled out handfuls of fish. "It's raining hard out, so I couldn't get to the cafe, but I still got the fish, caught them in the river. So let's eat, drink, and be merry, for the end may be near." And that, my friends, is the story of the man who found humor in the face of disaster and dinner in the pockets of his pants.